Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Joel here with as many reviews as possible, and today we're doing the review of the Asics Conviction X. Alright, so whoever's in charge of naming shoes over at Asics needs to get fired, because these names are freaking ridiculous. The Met Conviction and now the Conviction X. Come on, guys. If we were buying shoes based off of names alone, then I would tell you to definitely not buy the Conviction X. But we're not, and you'd be missing out on a really good shoe. The Conviction X is Asics' second true functional fitness shoe after the Met Conviction that I reviewed last year, which I did like, but it wasn't good enough to pull me away from the Nike Metcon 2 or even the Nano 6.0. Going into reviewing the Conviction X, I thought it was going to be kind of the same as the Met Conviction, built on the same last, but a lot of things are different with the Conviction X. Starting with the upper, you now have a synthetic leather that Asics calls rhino skin, and that wraps around the quarter of the shoe. The vamp of the shoe or toe box is more of a mesh with a TPU overlay. You also get a TPU heel counter. The outsole features Asics high abrasion rubber, which has this busy tread pattern but does a really good job of gripping anything. It also extends into the medial part of the shoe for rope climbs. The shoelaces that come with the Conviction X are super long, but what you can do is tuck them in to this little pocket right here, just like the Strike Movement shoes. The insole is pretty dense and minimal and has perforations all throughout for breathability. The Conviction X's are pretty low to the ground. They're 10 millimeters at the heel, all the way to 6 millimeters at the toe, with a 4 millimeter drop. When it comes down to sizing your Conviction X, I went with a 9.5 in my Met Convictions, and I thought they were kind of tight, so I went up to a 10 with the Conviction X, but now they're too loose. I think these shoes run true to size, so if I were to do it again, I would get a 9.5. Size these as you would your normal training shoe and your running shoes. For performance, the Conviction X are some of the most surprising shoes that I reviewed all year. I know it's been short, but a lot of shoes have come out in the beginning of the year, and the Conviction X's are one of the better ones. You're gonna notice immediately when you put on these shoes that the heel is gonna be super duper dense, even rivaling the Nano 7, which I thought had the stiffest heel out of any training shoe. Power delivery in these shoes is excellent, stability is very good. The TPU heel counter does a really good job of holding your heel in place. Granted, mine are a little bit large, so some of the dynamic lifts I find myself sliding forward a little bit too much just because they're a little bit long on me. For lifts where I'm able to set up a little bit better, back squats, front squats, and overhead squats, I have no problem transferring power through the ground in the Conviction X. Like the Nano 7, it really wouldn't matter too much if the shoe was just rigid and dense, but it is also very flexible. The forefoot flexes with ease, bounding, doing any kind of plyometric movements, and even running in the Conviction X are pretty good, assuming you're going to be doing pose running on the balls of your feet. If you heel strike, you're going to notice that these shoes are going to be a little bit clunky, but I wouldn't recommend you to do that anyways. Another thing that I didn't really like about the Met Convictions was I thought they were a little bit narrow, and the Conviction X's are definitely not a narrow shoe. The fit is very similar to the Nike Metcon 3s. It's a fairly wide training shoe. It's not the widest, but it should accommodate most feet. The Conviction X retail for $120, which puts them pretty much in line with all of the other popular functional fitness shoes on the market. So why would you go for the Conviction X over some of the more popular brands? In my opinion, these are some of the best performing functional fitness shoes because they have such a rigid heel and the forefoot is flexible, making these a really good all-around functional fitness shoe, better than most of the shoes that I've checked out in 2017. You can find the Conviction X's for around $85 on Amazon, and for that price, these are a steal. If you guys are looking for something a little different and you don't want to sacrifice performance, check out the Conviction X. These are, like I said, the most surprising shoes of 2017. If you guys have any questions about the Conviction X, feel free to leave them in the comment section. And as always, guys, please hit that like button, subscribe, and thanks for watching.